The bus door folds open with a tired hiss. He steps down onto the gravel road with a small suitcase in one hand. The bus pulls away at once, its engine fading into the hills. Dust hangs in the air for a moment, then settles. The village stands, quiet before him. Paper lanterns stretch across the narrow road, tied from roof to roof. They sway in the evening wind. Their red paper is thin, almost soft like skin. Light glows inside them, warm and steady. It is almost dark. He has not been here in 12 years. The air smells of smoke and damp earth. Someone nearby is burning. Incense. Thin grey threads rise into the sky. It is the first night of the Hungry Ghost Festival. He walks forward slowly, his shoes scraping against stone. The houses look smaller than he remembers. Wooden doors, faded paint, windows covered with old screens. He hears low voices behind closed doors. The sound stops when he passes. At the corner shop, a group of old men sit on plastic stools. They are folding paper money, stacking it in neat piles. One of them glances up at him. The others follow. Their eyes rest on his face for a second too, long that he gives a small nod. "I'm looking for my grandmother's house," he says. "The Chun house, near the fields." No one answers at first. Then one man clears his throat. "We know the house." Another man looks away toward the hills. He shifts his weight. "I heard there's a shrine up there." Above the terraces, the air changes. It feels tighter. The men return to their folding. Paper rustles in their hands. From inside the shop, an old woman steps out. Her back is bent, her hair thin and white. She studies him with sharp eyes. "You are her grandson," she says. He nods. She walks closer, slow but steady. From her sleeve, she takes out 3 sticks of incense and presses them into his palm. Her fingers are cold and dry. "Do not sleep near it," she whispers. "Near what?" he asks. "The shrine." The word sits heavy between them. He lets out a small breath. "I'm not here for that. I just need to sell the house." The old woman's eyes do not soften. "The festival has started," she says. "Tonight, the gates are open." A door slams somewhere down the street. He turns his head, but no one is there. When he looks back, the old woman has already stepped away. He stands alone for a moment, the incense still in his hand. The paper lanterns above him sway again, brushing against each other with a soft, dry sound. He walks toward the terraced fields. The path narrows as it climbs. The fields stretch in quiet steps down the hillside, green fading into shadow. Crickets begin to sing. The sky turns a deep blue, almost purple. His grandmother's house waits at the edge of the fields. The wood is darker than he remembers. The roof curves slightly, as if tired. One shutter hangs crooked. The front door is closed, but not locked. He pushes it open. The smell of old wood and dust greets him. The air inside feels cooler. Still, he steps in and sets his suitcase down. The floorboards creak under his weight. The sound echoes through the empty rooms. He runs his fingers along the wall. The wood feels rough, uneven, almost like skin. He tells himself that houses settle when left alone. They shift. They breathe. He lights one of the incense sticks and places it in a small bowl on the table. Smoke curls upward, slow and thin. Outside, the wind picks up. He moves. from room to room, opening windows. Each one groans in protest. Faded photos hang crooked on the walls. His grandmother stands in one of them, her face serious, her eyes watching the camera like it might move. He stops in the bedroom at the back. This used to be his room during summer visits. The bed is still there, covered in a white sheet. The sheet is turned yellow at the edges. He pulls it off. Dust rises into the air. The window beside the bed looks out toward the hills. Higher up, barely visible between trees, he sees the shape of something small and dark. The shrine dotted sits alone against the slope, half hidden by branches. He closes the window. Night falls quickly in the mountains. He eats a simple meal from a paper bag and drinks water from a bottle. The village below glows with lantern light. Smoke rises from many rooftops now. The smell of burning paper drifts inside. Chanting begins somewhere in the distance. Low voices, slow rhythm. He cannot make out the words. He lies down on the bed without changing his clothes. The house makes small sounds as it cools. Wood clicking, a soft thud from somewhere in the ceiling. Wind presses against the walls, then pulls away. He stares at the dark ceiling. The chanting grows louder, then softer. It feels like it is moving along the hillside at some point. His eyes close. He dreams of footsteps, slow at first, crunching on gravel outside the house. He stands inside the dream, unable to move. The footsteps circle the house once, twice. They stop beneath his window, silence. Then 3 soft taps against the glass. His eyes snap open. The room is dark. The chanting has stopped. He listens. Nothing. Only the wind. He sits up in bed. His heart beats hard against his ribs. He tells himself it was just a dream. The mind plays tricks in old places. He swings his legs over the side of the bed and stands. The floor is cold. He walks to the window and looks out. The fields lie empty under the moon. The terraces shine faintly with pale light. The shrine above them is only a shadow now. He leans closer to the glass. For a second, he thinks he sees something near the edge of the field. A darker shape against the dark. He blinks. It is gone. He stands there for a long time, before returning to bed. When morning comes, grey light fills the room. Birds call from the trees. The air feels normal again. Lighter, he sits up slowly. For a moment he almost laughs at himself. Then he notices the window. Fine grey ash rests along the sill, a thin line of it scattered unevenly. Some of it has fallen onto the floor. He frowns. He did not burn anything near the window. He walks closer. The ash is fresh, soft. When he touches it, it smears across his fingertip. 3 faint marks cut through the ash, dart like fingers dragged lightly. Across the wood, he pulls his hand back. Outside, the morning sun touches the top of the shrine on the hill. The paper lanterns in the village below hang still now, empty in the daylight. He stands in the quiet room, staring at the ash. The house does not make a sound, but he no longer feels alone inside it. By noon, the heat presses down on the village like a hand. He stands at the edge of the terrace fields, looking up at the hillside. The shrine sits above the last row of rice, small and dark against the bright sky. In daylight, it does not look frightening. It looks old, forgotten. He tells himself, that is all it is. The ash from the windowsill is still on his mind. He had wiped it away before leaving the house, but the faint grey stain remains on the wood. He starts walking. The path is narrow and uneven. Dry soil cracks under his shoes. Insects buzz around his ears. The sun is high, burning away the morning. Mist. Shadows shrink close to the ground. Halfway up, he turns to look back. The village seems harmless from here. Red lanterns hang quietly in the daylight. Laundry moves on thin lines between houses. A dog sleeps in the shade. He keeps climbing. The shrine rests beneath a wide banyan tree. Thick roots twist over stone and sink into the earth like frozen snakes. Some roots press against the shrine walls, as if trying to pull it back into the ground. Up close, the wood is darker than he thought. The roof tiles are cracked. Moss grows along the edges. He steps closer. Shallow bowls sit on a stone slab in front of the shrine. Rice clumps together in dry, hard pieces. Oranges have sunk in on themselves, their skins wrinkled and soft. Paper. Money lies burned into thin black curls, shaped like lace. Flies hum lazily in the heat. He looks around, no one is here, yet the offerings are fresh, enough to mean someone still comes. The rice is not covered in dust. The oranges have not fully rotted. Someone tends this place. He moves to the doorway. The wooden doors hang slightly open. The air inside feels cooler. He hesitates only a second before stepping in. The space is small, barely wide enough for him to stand comfortably. A single altar sits against the back wall. Old incense sticks fill a clay pot, their ends grey and fragile. The smell is faint but present. Smoke soaked into wood. His eyes adjust slowly. That is, when he sees it, carved into the inner wall, just beside the altar, are shallow marks in the wood letters he steps. Closer dot his name, not written in ink, carved. The lines are thin but steady. He runs his fingers over them. The grooves are old. Dust rests inside them. He does not need to guess who carved it. The shape of the strokes, the careful spacing, he has seen it before in old letters at his grandmother's house. Below his name, another line is carved, "Do not let him stay the night." The words are smaller, pressed deeper into the wood. For a long moment, he cannot move. The heat outside feels far away now. The small room feels tight, like it is holding its breath. "Why?" he says softly. His voice sounds strange here. He searches the rest of the wall for more writing. There is none. Only the altar, a faded red cloth beneath it, and a cracked ceramic bowl. He steps back outside into the sun. The light almost blinds. Him, he blinks hard. The banyan leaves rustle above him, though the air is still. He looks down the path toward the village. Everything appears normal, quiet, ordinary. He laughs once, short and dry. She was just superstitious, he mutters, but he does not fully believe it. He walks back down the hill, slower than before. That evening, the village changes. As the sky darkens, families gather in front of their homes. Tables are set outside. On them sit small paper houses, paper cars, even paper clothes, all bright and careful, made by hand. He watches from the doorway of his grandmother's house. A man kneels and lights the corner of a paper house. The flame catches quickly. The paper curls inward as it burns. The shape collapses. turning into black flakes. Smoke rises thick and heavy. More fires start along the road. The air fills with heat and the sharp smell of burning paper. Children stand close to their parents. No one laughs loudly. Voices stay low. He walks down toward the road. An old man glances at him, but says nothing. They need homes in the other world. A woman explains quietly, not looking at him. We send what they cannot carry. He nods. The fires grow brighter as the sky turns fully dark. Ash floats upward, then drifts back down like grey snow. By the time he returns to the house, smoke blankets the valley. The shrine on the hill is barely visible now, swallowed in haze. Inside, he closes the door and window still. The smell seeps in. He lies on the bed again, staring at the ceiling. His name carved in wood will not leave his thoughts. Do not let him stay the night. Did she mean him as a child, or now? Outside, the last of the paper houses burn down to nothing. Silence spreads slowly after. He must fall asleep. Because when he opens his eyes again, the room is dark and cold. No wind, no chanting, just stillness. Then he hears it, soft at first. A sound like someone trying not to cry. He holds his breath. It comes again. A child's voice, thin, broken. It is not close to the house. It comes from the hillside. From above, he sits up. Slowly, the crying rises and falls, carried by the night air. It does not sound angry. It sounds lost. His chest tightens. Something inside him stirs. A faint memory. Running through tall grass. Laughter. Someone calling his name. He presses his fingers against his temple. I don't remember, he whispers. The crying continues. Without thinking, he stands. His feet touch the cold floor. He walks to the door and opens it. The village is dark. Most lanterns are burned out. Only a few still glow faintly. The crying drifts down the path toward the fields. He steps outside. The ground is cool beneath his shoes. Smoke lingers low, brushing against his legs. He follows the sound, past the terraces, up the narrow dirt path. The lantern light from the village grows smaller behind him. Each step takes him farther from it. The crying grows clearer. He does not question why he is walking. He does not stop to think. The banyan tree appears ahead, its branches like arms against the sky. The shrine waits in shadow. Only when the last lantern light disappears behind the curve of the hill does he realize how dark it truly is. The crying stops. He stands alone in the blackness, just below the shrine steps, and for the first time he feels that something up there has been waiting for him to return. Cold seeps through his back before he opens his eyes. Morning light rests softly on his face, pale and thin. The sky above him is washed with early grey. The kind that comes just before sunrise fully wakes the hills. He blinks. Stone presses against his shoulders. His neck aches. For a moment he does not understand where he is. Then the banyan branches come into focus. Above him dot the shrine. He sits up quickly. Ash falls from his clothes in soft clouds. It covers his sleeves, his knees even. His hands. The smell of burned paper clings to him, dry and bitter. His head throbs. He looks around. The hillside is quiet. Mist floats low across the terraces below. Birds move through the trees as if nothing strange has happened. He tries to remember climbing here. The last thing he recalls is the crying. Standing in darkness, listening after that, nothing. A faint chill runs through him despite the rising sun. He pushes himself to his feet. His legs feel stiff, heavy, like he has walked much farther than he remembers. He brushes ash from his shirt, but it only spreads into grey streaks. As he turns to leave, something hard presses against his thigh inside his pocket. He frowns and reaches in. His fingers close around smooth stone. He pulls it out slowly. A small jade pendant rests in his palm, oval-shaped, cool to the touch, pale green with faint white veins running through it. A thin red string is tied through a hole at the top. He stares at it. "I didn't bring this," he murmurs. The pendant feels old, not polished like jewelry from a shop, but worn from years of handling. One edge is chipped slightly. For a moment, a strange feeling passes through him, familiarity. Without memory, he slips it back into his pocket. The sun climbs higher as he walks down the hill. Daylight makes everything appear ordinary again. Farmers move through the terraces. Someone calls to a child in the distance. Smoke rises from cooking fires. The normal sounds should calm him. They do not when he reaches the village road. Conversations slow. A woman carrying vegetables pauses mid-step. Two men repairing a bicycle stop talking. Their eyes drop to his ash-covered clothes. He forces a small smile. "I must have fallen asleep hiking," he says. No one laughs. The old woman from the shop watches from her doorway. Her gaze lowers to his pocket, where the shape of the pendant presses against the fabric. She stiffens. "Where did you get that?" she asks. He hesitates. "Get what?" She steps closer and points. "Show me." Slowly, he takes the pendant out. The reaction is immediate. A man nearby mutters under his breath. Another turns away entirely. The air grows heavy with silence. The old woman does not touch the pendant. She only stares at it, her face pale. "You went to the shrine last night," she says. It is not a question. "I don't remember much," he replies. "I woke up there." More villagers gather, drawn by quiet tension rather than noise. Their eyes stay fixed on the jade. An elderly man pushes through the group. His back is straight despite his age, his hair silver and tied neatly behind his head. He studies the pendant for a long time before speaking. "That belonged to the boy," he says gently. "What boy?" he asks. The elder looks toward the hillside before answering. "Many years ago, during this same festival, a child disappeared. He was playing near the shrine. His voice remains calm, but careful. They searched for days. They never found him." A breeze moves through the street, stirring ashes along the ground. "The shrine kept him," the elder adds quietly. Since then, people hear crying during the festival nights. The words settle heavily in his chest. "That doesn't make sense," he says, though his voice lacks strength. "Why would I have this?" The elder meets his eyes. "Spirits. Remember who belongs to them." No one speaks after that. He closes his hand around the pendant and walks away, feeling their stares follow him all the way back to the house. Inside, he washes ash from his arms and face. Grey water swirls down the sink. He changes clothes, but the cold feeling remains under his skin. He sits at the table, the pendant lying before him. The longer he looks at it, the more something stirs at the edge of his thoughts. Summer heat, children, running through tall grass, laughter echoing across the terraces. He squeezes his eyes shut. Memory flickers to boys hiding behind the banyan tree, whispering, one daring thee, other to stay overnight near the shrine. His breathing slows. I was here. He whispers. The memory slips away before he can grasp it fully. Evening arrives again, quiet and slow. More offerings burn across the village. Smoke thickens earlier tonight, drifting between houses like fog. The sky turns orange, then deep blue. He stays outside longer than he means to, watching the fires. Children stand closer to their parents now. No one wanders alone. The crying begins. Shortly after midnight, closer than before, he freezes where he stands. The sound resonates from the hillside again, but this time it feels nearer, clearer. Each breath between sobs carries weight, real pain, real loneliness. His chest tightens sharply, images flash behind his eyes, running feet, dirt sliding under shoes, someone shouting his name, laughter turning into fear. He stands without deciding. 2. The pendant feels warm in his pocket. Smoke from burning offerings drifts across the road, thick enough to blur shapes. Lantern light bends through it, turning everything soft and unreal. He follows the sound. Again, step by step. The crying grows louder as he climbs. The banyan tree appears through white smoke. This time, he stops before reaching the steps. The air feels colder here. The smoke gathers thickly around the shrine, moving slowly as if guided by breath instead of wind. The crying stops. Silence falls so suddenly his ears ring. Then movement. A shape forms within the drifting. Smoke, small, still dot. Boy stands near the shrine entrance. Barefoot his clothes are, old-fashioned, pale and loose. Ash dusts his shoulders. His face is thin, almost colorless, like paper left too long in sunlight. The boy does not move closer. He simply watches. Their eyes meet. The man waits for anger, accusation, something sharp or frightening. But the boy's expression holds none of that, only patience and something else. Recognition. The man's breath shakes. Do I know you? The boy says nothing. Smoke curls between them, rising slowly toward the branches above. The pendant grows warmer in his pocket. For a brief second, another memory breaks through, a hand slipping from his grasp, the ground shaking. His own voice shouting as he runs. He staggers back slightly. The boy remains, still, not chasing, not threatening, waiting as if he has been standing there for many years. Certain this moment would come. The wind stirs at last, thinning the smoke. When the man blinks, the boy is gone. Only the shrine remains. Quiet beneath the banyan tree, he stands alone on the hillside, heart pounding, understanding one thing clearly for the first time. The crying was never calling him upward. It was calling him back. Morning light rests gently on the village, but nothing feels gentle inside him. He has not slept. The image of the boy standing in white smoke stays with him, clear as if burned into his eyes. The quiet look, the waiting, He sits outside his grandmother's. House, elbows on his knees. The jade pendant turning slowly between his fingers. Footsteps approach on the dirt path. He looks up. The elder stands a few feet away, hands folded behind his back. His face carries no surprise, as if he has been expecting this moment. You saw him, the elder says. It is not a question. He nods. The elder lowers himself onto the wooden step beside him. For a while, neither of them speaks. Roosters crow. In the distance, a woman sweeps her doorway across the road. The boy, the elder begins, was your cousin. The words land softly, but they shake something loose inside him. My cousin, he repeats. You were the same age. You followed each other everywhere, like twins. The elder's eyes stay on the fields ahead. During the festival that year, you both ran up the hill. You wanted to prove you were brave. His hands grow still around the pendant. A thin crack opens in his memory. Two boys hiding behind a tree, whispering, laughing. You dared each other, the elder continues. To sleep beside the shrine, he closes his eyes. The ground under his feet that night had felt warm from the day's heat. Crickets singing, lanterns glowing below. We weren't supposed to go up there, he says quietly. No, the elder replies, you were not. The breeze moves through the terraces, bending the rice in soft waves. The shrine was built long ago, the elder says. Not to trap spirits, to calm them. The old people believed wandering souls needed a place to rest. But every place of rest asks for balance. He turns toward him slowly. Balance. When someone leaves too soon, something remains. The shrine holds what cannot move on. The elder pauses. And sometimes, when to go up, only one comes down. His throat tightens. Memory rushes in, sharp and sudden. The sound of earth cracking. A deep, low rumble under the shrine steps. His cousin's hand gripping his wrist. Fear rising so fast it swallowed all thought. I ran, he whispers. The words feel dry in his mouth. The elder nods once. The ground gave way. The soil beneath the steps was weak from rain. When it broke, your cousin fell with it. He sees it now, dirt sliding his cousin's body, dropping into darkness. A scream he had. Tried to grab him. He remembers that part, fingers slipping, nails scraping skin. I was scared, he says, voice breaking. I ran to get help, but that is not the whole truth. He had run first. Help had come later. By the time the villagers reached the shrine, the earth had sealed itself in silence. We searched, the elder says. We dug, but the hill would not give him back. The fields seemed too bright now, the world too normal for what is being said. Why didn't anyone tell me? He asks. You were a child, the elder answers, and your family was already grieving. Your grandmother carried enough pain. He looks down at the pendant in his hand. She carved my name in the shrine. Yes, and the warning. Yes, he swallows. She didn't want me to stay the night. She did not want the shrine to take more from you, the elder says gently. But she also knew the shrine remembers. Debts do not disappear. The word hangs in the air. Det, the crying from the hillside echoes in his mind again. Not angry. Not cruel. Lonely. I left him there, he says. The elder does not correct him. Silence settles between them. Across the road, a child runs past, chasing a paper kite. His laughter rings out, clear and bright. It cuts through him like glass. "You were both children," the elder says at last. "Fear makes children do what they must to survive." But he didn't survive. The elder closes his eyes briefly. No. The final night of the festival arrives slowly. Lanterns glow brighter than before. More offerings line the road. People move with quiet purpose, their voices low. He feels every sound more sharply now, every footstep, every whisper. The sky darkens into deep blue. Smoke rises thick from burning paper houses and folded money. It drifts toward the hill, drawn upward like breath. He stands at the edge of the terraces. Looking at the shrine. Tonight feels different. The air feels thin. Open, they say, on the last night. The line between worlds is soft, the old woman says as she passes him. Her eyes are not unkind this time. If something must be said, it should be said before dawn. He nods. He climbs the hill before midnight. The path feels familiar now, in a way it did not before. His feet know where to step, where the soil dips, where the roots rise from the ground. The banyan tree waits in shadow. He stops at the shrine steps. The memory plays clearly in his mind now. Two boys sitting side by side, backs against the wood, whispering bravely about ghosts they did not believe in. He steps forward slowly. "I remember," he says aloud. The wind stirs gently around him. "I remember you falling." The crying begins again, closer than ever. It comes from just beyond the shrine door. He does not run this time. "I was afraid," he says, voice steady though his hands shake. "I left you." Smoke gathers around the shrine, thicker than before. It curls along the ground, wrapping around his ankles. The shape forms slowly within it. The boy stands there again, barefoot on the dirt. His face is pale, but not as faint as before. His eyes shine softly in the dark. The man steps closer. "I thought you were angry," he says. The boy's expression does not change. Then he understands. The crying was never filled with rage. It carried the weight of someone left alone. "I'm here now," he whispers. The smoke moves gently between them, like breath shared in cold air. The shrine does not tremble. The earth does not shake. Nothing dramatic happens, but something shifts. The fear that once pushed him to run feels smaller now. It sits behind him instead of inside him. For the first time, he does not feel chased by memory. He feels called to answer. The boy remains still, waiting, and he knows this is not the end of the debt. Only the moment he chooses to stop running from it. Doors close one by one along the village road. Wood meets wood with soft thuds. Metal arches slide into place. The final night of the festival carries a different kind of silence. It feels careful, almost watchful. He stands outside his grandmother's house, looking up at the hill. Lanterns still glow, but their light seems weaker now. The air is cooler. Wind moves through the grass in long strokes, pressing it flat and then letting it rise again. He holds the jade pendant tightly in his hand. Tonight is the last night. If something must be set right, it has to be now. He begins to walk. No one calls after him. No one tries to stop him. From behind closed doors, he senses people listening, waiting. The path to the shrine feels longer than before. Each step sinks slightly into the soft dirt. The wind grows stronger as he climbs, pushing against his chest. By the time he reaches it, the banyan tree, his breathing is steady but heavy. The shrine stands in darkness. No smoke yet. No crying. Only the sound of leaves brushing against one another. He steps onto the first stone. The memory of that night, years ago, flashes again. Laughter turning sharp. The ground breaking open. His cousin's hand slipping from his dot. He does not push the memory away this time. He walks to the shrine entrance. Inside, the air smells of old ash and damp wood. The carved letters on the wall catch faint light from the lanterns. Below his name, the warning beneath it. He kneels in front of the altar. His hands shake slightly as he places the jade pendant down on the red cloth. For a moment, he keeps his palm over it. This belongs here, he says quietly. The wind shifts outside, brushing against the shrine walls. He takes 3 incense sticks from his pocket, the same kind the old woman gave him on his first day back. He strikes a match. The small flame flickers wildly before settling. He lights the incense and places them upright in the clay pot. Thin smoke riseth, slow and steady. He bows his head. I was afraid, he says into the small space. The words feel different tonight, clearer. I was a child. I didn't know what to do. The wind grows louder for a moment, pushing through the banyan leaves. The shrine would creak softly. I should have stayed, he continues. I should have held on. Smoke begins to gather near the doorway. Not thick at first, just a pale mist. He keeps speaking. I ran because I wanted to live. I didn't think about what it meant for you. The smoke curls inward, filling the shrine little by little. It moves slowly, like breath entering lungs. I have thought about that night for years without remembering it fully, he says, but somewhere inside, I always knew. His voice trembles now, but he does not stop. I left you alone. The air inside the shrine grows warmer. The smoke thickens near the entrance. Then a shape forms. The boy steps forward quietly from the white. He stands barefoot on the wooden floor. His clothes no longer look faded. They hold a faint color now, like cloth washed clean. His face is still pale, but there is warmth beneath it. He looks almost solid, almost alive. The man does not step back. Their eyes meet in the soft light of burning incense. I don't have excuses, he says. The boy remains still. I was scared. He repeats. I wanted to get away from the sound of the ground breaking. I wanted the fear to stop. The shrine trembles faintly, a small shiver in the wood beams. Outside, the wind circles the hill. I cannot change what happened, he says. But I am here now. I will not run again. Silence fills the space between them. The boy tilts his head slightly, as if listening to something deeper than words. The incense smoke wraps around both of them, rising toward the ceiling beams. I am sorry, the man says at last. Not loudly, not dramatically, just truth. The boy takes one small step forward. The movement is simple, but it carries weight. He stands close enough now that the man can see details in his face. faint freckles across his nose, a small scar near his eyebrow. Memories sharpen into focus. They had climbed trees together, shared bowls of rice, whispered secrets under blankets. "You were my best friend," he says softly. The boy's expression changes, then not into a smile, but into something peaceful. The shrine trembles again, this time stronger. Dust falls lightly from the roof beams. The ground hums faintly beneath them. The incense flames burn brighter for a second, then steady. The smoke begins to thin. The boy reaches out, not to grab, just to touch his fingers, brush the man's hand. They are not cold. They feel almost warm. A quiet rush of air moves through the shrine, lifting the red cloth on the altar. The jade pendant glows faintly in the dim light. The man closes his eyes. When he opens them again, the boy stands a little farther back. The smoke pulls gently toward the doorway, like water draining away. The shrine grows still. The boy looks at him one last time. No anger, no blame, only the soft look of someone who's been waiting a long time. Then he fades into the thinning smoke. The incense burns. Down slowly, the trembling stops. Outside, the wind quiets. He remains kneeling for a long time after the smoke clears. The jade pendant rests on the altar. It no longer feels heavy in the air. When the first light of dawn spreads across the sky, he steps outside. The hillside is calm. No crying, no whispering wind. The village below wakes slowly, unaware of what has shifted. He stands beneath the banyan tree and breathes in the cool morning air. For the first time since returning, the hill does not feel like it is holding its breath. Weeks pass, the festival ends. Lanterns are taken down. The roads return to normal. He meets with the buyer who once wanted the house. "I've changed my mind," he says simply. The man shrugs and leaves without argument. The house remains. He repairs the broken shutter. He fixes loose floorboards. He clears weeds from the path. Each morning, he climbs the hill with fresh incense. He cleans the shrine, replaces old offerings, sweeps away fallen leaves. The villagers notice. They say little, but their eyes no longer avoid his. When the next hungry ghost festival arrives a year later, lanterns hang once more across the road. Smoke rises into the sky. He climbs the hill, again at dusk, not out of fear, not out of guilt, but because someone must remember. The shrine stands steady beneath the banyan tree. He lights incense and bows his head. The wind moves gently through the grass. No crying follows, only quiet. And in that quiet, he understands something simple. Some debts are not paid by punishment. They are paid by staying.